If you clicked on this video, then congratulations, my friend. You are on the road to become a streamer. My name is McBurger, and I want to help you try to make the best stream possible.
This is a tasty burger.
In this video, I'm going to be showing you how it's possible for me to stream with an Xbox and a 10-year-old CPU. Let me start out by saying I'm not an expert. I don't have any degrees on the wall. Right? I actually don't have anything on the walls. I look kind of like a fucking sociopath. I'm sorry. There, that's better. Everything I've learned, I've had to self-teach myself through YouTube videos, Reddit, forums, just through mistakes, making mistakes. I love making mistakes, though. I see mistakes as learning opportunities. Anytime you make a mistake, that's a chance for you to grow and learn from that mistake. You can continue to make that mistake, or you can try to improve yourself. I'm a strong believer in the Mamba mentality, 1% better every single day. Before we set up the stream, I want to break down my computer. I want you to use my computer as a benchmark. Most likely your computer is better than mine. I got this as a graduation gift 10 years ago from my mom. At the time, it was a great PC. I think she paid $600 or so for it. It's got the AMD FX 4300 in it. I'm using a program called CPU-Z. This program allows you to see the core speed, the multiplier, everything that's about your computer. It'll let you see it right through this program. This is the main board that I have. Everything is stock but my graphics card. The graphics card I had to upgrade after the stock one went kaput on me. It just wouldn't turn on. My monitor wouldn't turn on. The power would go on, but nothing would go to my display. I took it to a local computer technician. He said it was my graphics card. We swapped it out real quick. He gave me a really good deal on this GeForce GTX 760. This is a decent graphics card. It's not the best one in the world, but you definitely want to be having a good graphics card or a good PC. One of the two or both. If you're trying to stream but you don't have access to a computer, Mixer makes that extremely easy to do right from your Xbox. With just a couple button clicks, you can do it right from your Xbox guide. Mixer also has a program called Lightstream. Lightstream is going to add a customizable overlay to your Mixer stream doing it that way. It's extra $5 a month, but it's going to add so much to your stream. You're going to be able to brand it. People looking at your stream are going to be able to like, oh my god, that's McBurger Deluxe. There's a logo right in the bottom left-hand corner saying McBurger Deluxe, so I know. If you don't want to invest in a PC or a capture card for just $5 extra a month, that is definitely worth it. When starting to stream from your Xbox, there are several different routes you can take. The easiest and best way is to get yourself a capture card. These definitely are a bit pricey though, so if you're on a budget, check sites like Facebook Marketplace or Let Go. You can get lucky and find a streamer that's recently upgraded or stopped streaming for whatever reason, and you can get it on the low. I found an HD60 for $50. This is from Elgato. It's got a built-in encoder chip. It's really nice. I got it for $100 less than it retails just by checking a website. Buying used is always hit or miss though. I got lucky. You could easily get burned in a situation like that. So buying new is always recommended if you have the cash. You can save some bucks by getting open box, clearance, doing stuff like that. That way you have a receipt still and you can return it if there's any trouble. When I started to stream about a year and a half ago, I didn't have a capture card. Instead, I used the Xbox app on your Windows PC and used a feature that Microsoft released years ago, which allows you to play your Xbox anywhere on your Windows PC. I then captured that window on OBS, added an overlay and my webcam right on top of that, and streamed that way. I really don't recommend this unless you have a great internet connection. Both your gameplay and your picture quality are going to be affected by your internet speed. You're going to be really laggy on your end, and your picture quality on your stream is going to really look crappy. Once you have your capture card all plugged in, you're going to want to set it up using Elgato's Game Capture HD program. This program automatically downloaded for me. If it didn't for you, I'll leave a link down in the description. After you download it, you're going to be sent to a screen similar to this. It's going to have a game capture preview window. and all of this information on this side. None of this is really going to matter because we're going to be streaming through OBS. What you're going to want to do is go up here to preferences. That's that gear icon in the top right hand corner. Advanced tab, since I'm here, this is the most important tab right here. The decoder and encoder, these really don't impact the gameplay and picture quality as much as you would think. Instead, these really impact your CPU or GPU. This is telling the CPU or GPU what is going to be compressing the images. If you have a outdated graphics card but a good CPU, you want to be running your stream off of your CPU instead of your graphics card. And vice versa. If you have a good graphics card but an outdated CPU like myself, you're going to be running your stream through your graphics card instead. Before I updated my graphics card, I used the software that's built into my HD60. The HD60 has a video encoder chip built into it. The video encoder chip is going to lighten the load on your PC even more, which is going to give you a better performing stream. The picture quality isn't going to be as good, but it's going to make your stream perform so much better. I used the software for decoding and encoding, and I had my quality down here. This slider pretty much just tells your CPU how fast to be breaking down the images that it's receiving. Highest quality is super fast, best performance is ultra fast. You're not going to notice too much of a difference in the video quality like I said. Instead, you're going to be noticing more of a difference on the other settings. With my current graphics card, I'm running my decoder at automatic and my encoder at NVENC. And I also have it at the highest quality there. Next up, you're going to be wanting to go down to your capture card settings. That's going to be this gear icon here. It's the first one under device. The capture tab is the only one that's important. The picture, audio, profiles, advanced, none of these tabs matter. The capture one is the only one that's going to matter. The input device, you're going to want to set this to whatever console you're using. I'm using an Xbox One. If you're using a PlayStation 4, you can hit that. The audio inputs. If you're using an Elgato chat link cable, this is going to allow your stream to hear your party chat. You're going to want to change this to analog audio. This is going to allow the stream to hear whatever is happening in your headset. Having it at HDMI audio is going to have your stream hear whatever is coming through your HDMI cord. This is the default setting. You're going to want to have this if you don't have the chat link cable. I have the chat link cable, so I have it there. You can play around with the color range if you like it at standard, if you like it at expanded. I found expanded a little bit darker, a little bit more vibrant in the brights. For the profile, it's set up at 720p 60 frames per second at default. If your PC can handle it, then you want to be running at 1080p 60 frames. And you're going to be able to drop that down a little bit through OBS. You never want to be streaming at 1080p, but this will give your capture card better image. You can change the stream quality on OBS. You can change that down to 900p. If you're at 1080p on your gameplay, that's where I recommend streaming at 900p. Most people are watching on a cell phone or a small, little device, so having 1080p is just overkill. 720p, 900p, something like that is going to do you just right. When messing with your video settings, I always recommend start high and then work low. If you start high and you start having issues, move it down a little bit until you don't have issues anymore. This is going to produce the best possible picture. If you start at the low settings and then work yourself up to the high settings, you could stop a little bit early and then lose a little bit of quality. My computer can only handle 720p at 60 frames per second. The Xbox is capped at 30 frames per second, but I've noticed that allowing 60 frames per second on your capture card gives you a better picture quality. I messed around with raising the quality a little bit, lowering the quality, and 720p just suits my PC the best. If you have a better PC, and you probably do, then raise that up to 1080p. With this slider, you will notice more of a difference than you did with the other slider on the picture quality. Best to good is actually quite a big difference. You'll notice the Guardian is now a little bit more blurry. There's not as much detail, but we'll change that back to best. Now, there's not too much of a difference, but there's definitely more detail on him, and there is definitely less blur. Leave these unchecked, hit OK, and then we'll move to OBS. If you don't have OBS already downloaded, I'll leave a link down in the description for you as well. I found OBS to be the best program for streaming. You can stream straight from Game Capture HD, but I've ran into quite a bit of problems running my stream through there. It's a little bit laggy, and since I have a 1080p camera, it doesn't allow me to lower the resolution of that camera. I'm having to run a 1080p camera with a 720p stream, and that's just way too much on my CPU. Running it through OBS, I'm able to lower the resolution of my camera and my stream. For this next part of the video, I'm going to be breaking down my OBS settings. One thing to keep in mind is to always run OBS as an administrator. You're going to want to right click on it and then hit run as administrator. This is going to help fix so many bugs that you run into by using OBS. I'm going to be disabling my webcam. I'm sorry, you're not going to be able to see my pretty face, but this is just so you don't have to sit through that multiple stacking webcam effect. After you have OBS open, go down to your settings. The second tab is the streaming tab. This tab allows you to pick your streaming service. I recently switched over to Mixer for a couple reasons. One of the reasons is it allows you to have a higher bit rate. A higher bit rate equals a better picture. Another reason is its FTL servers. Mixer has faster than life servers, that's what the FTL stands for, which allows you to have a really low latency, which means you can interact with your stream even quicker. FTL servers have almost no delay at all. Most of these settings you will probably already have done through the opening process of OBS. Once you have it downloaded, there's a startup process and it goes through all of this with you. The output tab is going to determine how your stream is outputted. When streaming and recording, you can have different settings. You can be streaming at one setting and recording at a higher setting if you prefer. I'm not going to be able to change much of this. OBS locks it when you're in use, when I'm recording. But with the encoder, it's similar to the Elgato HD capture program. It's going to have a choice between your graphics card, your CPU, and I believe another program, the software, just like the game capture. If you have an outdated CPU like myself, you're going to be wanting to run your encoder on NVENC. This is going to give you the best picture quality and the most smooth performance. Trying to run your encoder with an outdated CPU is going to be a mess. I've tried it before, trust me. I'm running both my gameplay and my webcam both at 720p, so this rescale output doesn't really apply to me. I can just keep it at 720p. But like I was saying before, if you're running 1080p gameplay, you can stream at a lower quality with this rescale output. I recommend maybe at 900p, like I was saying, 720p. You're not going to really notice too much of a difference. There's going to be some nerds out there that are definitely going to critique your stream like, oh, 720p, ew. But fuck those nerds. Keep your rate control at CBR. CBR stands for controlled bit rate. Bit rate can be a bit confusing. Get it? Bit confusing? Okay, I'll stop. But since it can be a little bit confusing, I want you to think of it this way. You're a painter, okay? You're a painter, and bit rate is your paint. Your canvas is your resolution. The lower your resolution, the smaller your canvas. The more you can cover it with your bit rate. You have a lot of bit rates, you can cover a small canvas pretty easily. You increase that resolution, you increase the size of that canvas, you're gonna have less paint to cover that canvas. Mixer allows you to max out at 10,000 kilobytes per second without being a partner. This is pretty phenomenal. So if you have a bad PC, and I'm guessing you do if you clicked on this video, I highly recommend streaming on Mixer. Mixer is going to allow you to have more paint for that canvas. By having more paint for that canvas, you're going to be able to create a better picture. The keyframe intervals at default is at 0. Change that to 2. For your preset, you want to change that to quality. Odds are your PC is not going to have the requirements for max quality, and it's just going to be a waste by using it. Keep your profile to high. Make sure look ahead is on clicked, and you can click psycho visual tuning if this is on clicked. Keep your GPU at 0 and max B frames at 2. In this video, I'm just going to be covering how to get the best quality picture for your stream. I'll go over the other settings in another video if there's enough interest and likes in this video. Base canvas resolution, you want to keep this at whatever your monitor is at. Output scaled resolution, if your gameplay or your webcam is at 1080p, you can scale it down to 720p or 900p on this right here. Downscale filter, I like the Lanskos sharpen scaling of 36. This is going to be the sharpest picture. If your computer can't handle it, you can lower that down. From this video tab, you can also scale the frames per second. Both my webcam and my Xbox are both capped out at 30 frames per second. Having it at a higher frames per second, I've noticed it have a better picture quality for some reason. On the hotkeys tab, you can assign certain keys on your keyboard or your stream deck to start your stream, to stop your stream, to do whatever you need it to do. On the advanced tab, make sure that the process priority is all the way to high. This is going to make sure that your OBS is going to get priority on your PC. If you have other programs open, OBS is going to be the top priority. Other features in the advanced tab that you want to be considering are dynamically changing the bitrate and enabling the network optimizations. Alright guys, I really hope I helped your stream out. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments down below. Definitely get to them. We covered the Elgato video settings, and we covered our OBS video settings and some other videos later on in the road. I might do some audio and more in-depth settings videos and all that, tutorials, whatever. I can't think of anything else to do but snort a line of G Fuel and pub stomp some noobs. Let's do it, boys. Let's get the gaming, boys!
Smoking fags and flicking ash into empty beer cans. And